Donald Trump never admits he's lying, but sometimes he does stop telling certain lies.
There's not one dime of government money going into the ballroom.
We didn't ask for any tax money. We have no taxes. This is taxpayer-free. We have no taxpayer putting up 10 cents. You have right here $300 to $400 million, depending on finishes. If I use very expensive marble, if I use very expensive wall coatings, if I could bring it up to 400.
This is all my money and donors' money. This is tax-free.
And after all of that, he then asked Congress for $1 billion for his ballroom, which he couldn't get from Congress. And today, the Washington Post is reporting that Donald Trump knew when he was telling those lies that his project would cost $600 million, and he was already spending taxpayer money on it. The Post reports by the time Trump made his comments in March, the federal government had already approved more than a dozen payments to the contractor overseeing the work, Clark Construction, totaling tens of millions of dollars in public funds, according to a log of the contractor's invoices obtained by the Post. Clark had informed the White House that the projected cost had increased to $600 million. A project summary dated March 5th shows that nearly half of that, $293 million, was expected to come from private sources. The estimate said an additional $155 million would come from the Secret Service, $149 million from the White House Military Office, and $3 million from the executive residence, all sources funded by taxpayers. Joining us now is Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. He's a member of the Senate Finance Committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee, and he is the top Democrat on the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. Senator, I just wanted to pick up with you before we get to the ballroom on something we were just mentioning in the previous segment about energy sources and Donald Trump fighting a war, believing that it was about freeing up, to some degree, energy sources in the Middle East. You posted today the news that solar has finally beat coal in the American energy grid. This is a hugely important crossroads that Donald Trump has been trying to prevent from happening.
Yes, the scheme that Donald Trump is running is to blockade clean energy, whether it's wind or solar or battery, from getting onto the grid. Because when it comes onto the grid, it gets deployed by the grid operators first for the obvious reason that it is low cost. So if you block the low-cost clean energy, as Trump is doing, you force the grid for any given level of demand to go further up what they call the generation stack and call on more and more and more fossil fuel units. And that drives up the price for everybody, because in most grids, the highest cost unit running at any minute sets the price for all electrons on the grid. So it takes billions out of ratepayers' pockets, and all of those billions go straight to the fossil fuel industry, to Trump's big corrupt donors. It is a huge machine for extracting money from Americans to have us pay off his big donors. And this is just part of that crooked scheme.
And some of those big donors then contributed some of that private money to the White House ballroom. How surprised were you to discover today, the Washington Post reporting that Donald Trump knew taxpayer money was going to the ballroom while he was saying it wasn't?
Yeah, I mean, we absolutely knew that taxpayer money was going to end up pursued for his Gilded ballroom, but to figure out, as the reporters did, that he actually knew this at the time that he was saying no taxpayer dollars. So this lines up with, I negotiated a great deal with Iran, I didn't do the birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein, and no taxpayer dollars to the ballroom, as three pretty classic lies in just the last couple of weeks.
And then, of course, he ends up going to Congress and saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to need $1 billion for the ballroom.
Yes, and thankfully, my team and Senator Heinrich's team from the Energy Committee were able to blockade that with the parliamentarian. Thank you, by the way, for mentioning the wonderful work of Bill Douster, who's a Senate classic who does parliamentary work for us and presented the Environment Public Works case to the parliamentarian very successfully. That was wonderful to see. And so, you know, he doesn't get his billion. And now he has to just try to figure out how to wangle it out of other places in the budget. But he's really not going to be able to do that because we also led the amicus brief that points out very, very clearly that the president has no authority to spend a nickel on the White House. Congress has all of that authority. It's a little bit like we're the landlord and he's the tenant, and the tenant doesn't get to make changes in the landlord's house without the landlord's permission and consent and appropriations and authorization. So he's kind of in a box flailing around here with his ballroom.
Speaking of finding money and sneaking it around the budget, Cash Patel, who, as far as we could tell, lied his way through his Senate confirmation hearing, and others, has been discovered to apparently be operating some kind of personal slush fund using Justice Department money to overpay FBI agents who are especially favored by him.
It would come as no surprise. He's been lying to the Senate Judiciary Committee since day one, and his lies to the Senate Judiciary Committee are particularly annoying and ironic at a time when his bosses at the Department of Justice were prosecuting Jim Comey for lying to Congress. Now, Jim Comey didn't appear to actually have lied to Congress, but they prosecuted him anyway to appeal to the audience of one, Donald Trump. But to be prosecuting a former FBI director over bogus claims of lying to Congress, and then having your FBI director come in and plainly lie to Congress about, by the way, his grand jury testimony seeking Fifth Amendment protection, which you have to have a good faith belief in your own criminal liability to assert. I mean, the whole thing, it's just too good, Lawrence. If this would be comedy if it weren't tragedy.
Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.